Hello, this is a tech support tutorial video covering the installation of practice management integrations as well as the add-ins within the program itself. The first thing you're going to do if you want to install some of the integrations that you've purchased is go to our website, officetoolspro.com, and you're going to go to the store in the top right and log on to your online account. You'll use the email address that you used on your order form when you purchased, and also the password that you set up after you purchased. Once you've logged in there, you're going to go to the My Download section here on the right, and you're going to see all the various products that you've purchased. Now you notice the only one with a download link, the only integration that is Outlook Sync. That's because as of the 2014 version of Practice Management Workspace, all of our other integrations are within the main program itself. They're not standalone, they don't run separately, and they're not installed separately. Only Outlook Sync is. So if you want to, you can click this to download the Outlook Sync installer. I've already done that, and it's right here on my desktop. It's going to download a zip file. When you open up that zip file, you have two application installer files here, Outlook Setup x64 and x68. That's referring to 64 versus 32-bit, and it's actually not talking about your version of Windows, it's referring to the version of Outlook that you have installed on your computer. So you're going to want to check which version of Outlook you have running. This is Outlook 2010, and to find out if I'm 32-bit or 64-bit in 2010, I'm going to go to File and Help, and over here on the right under About Microsoft Outlook, it tells me that this is the 64-bit version. Depending on whether you're on a more recent version of Outlook, it might be in a different place. Sorry about that. But you can just Google it to find out. Anyway, you want to see if it's 64 or 32. So in this case, because it's 64-bit Outlook, I'm going to use the 64-bit Outlook Sync installer. This installs pretty quickly. Just going to let it run through, do its thing. There we go, it's done, just like that. When you run the installer, you're going to want to make sure that you have Outlook closed. And so you want to make sure it's closed here, and you can also check your system tray to make sure it's not running in the background. Once the installer is finished, you're going to have this shortcut on your desktop right here. You're going to click that to launch Outlook Sync for the first time. It takes a few seconds for it to configure itself, and as soon as it's done, it should pop up a window here. And here we go. So this is asking you to select a database. This is going to be the same computer and instance name as you have selected when you log in to Practice Management itself. So this is all right. It's pulling these settings from your registry if you've already got Practice Management installed. So you can just say OK. After you click OK, it's going to connect to your server, and it's going to ask you to log in. This is going to be the same login that you use when opening Practice Management. So you might not have a password in this case if you don't have a password there. And we're just going to say admin and OK. All right. Now our Outlook Sync is running, and we can see it here in our system tray. It runs as a service in the background, and if you want to go in and look at the settings or the way that it's set up, you can just right-click on the Outlook Sync icon here and say Open Control Panel, and we'll see the various parts of it that are going on. And if you want to know more about the Outlook Sync, you can check out that user guide in the section below. So that's Outlook Sync install. Pretty simple. The biggest thing to remember is to make sure that you run the appropriate 64 or 32-bit installer depending on your version of Outlook. Now for the add-ins. The add-ins in Practice Management, there are 3 of them, and they all have to do with giving you more options in terms of adding documents to our DMS system. And to install those, you're going to go here to the Documents tab and Install button. The 3 add-ins are Adobe Acrobat, a PDF printer, and a Microsoft Office add-in. For the Adobe Acrobat and Microsoft Office, you just select Install. The Adobe one's really fast, so it just finished there. The Microsoft Office one, occasionally you'll have to run this as administrator in order for it to install correctly. And to do that, you're actually going to need to run Practice Management as an administrator and then do the install from there. And if you need instructions on how to do that, you can give us a holler at tech support anytime. Sometimes it's going to ask you to reboot after the install is over. That means reboot your computer. You don't have to do it right away. You can do that later whenever it's convenient for you. The last one, the PDF print driver, really simple, same process, just you go to the install button and you click install. This is going to run through. And there we go. That one's pretty fast too. So once you've finished those installs, it's going to create an add-in button in Adobe Acrobat and also in Microsoft Office programs. It does it in Excel and Outlook and in Word. And that's just going to be a little button on the ribbon in the add-in section that's going to let you import whatever document you're currently viewing. You can also start a timer, and you can create a time card directly from those add-ins. The PDF print driver just means that whenever you print something from any program, you can select the Office Tools PDF printer, and that is going to create a PDF from whatever you're printing, and it's going to automatically import it into the document management system. So that's it for installing the Outlook Sync integration as well as the document add-ins.